Could you describe what happened?
Well, the war broke out on a Friday, September the 1st. The first few days was bombing, especially Friday. And it was terrible because we didn't know what's happening. We were all staying not in our apartment, but downstairs in the entrance to the house was like a massive entrance. So all the neighbors and all the children, we all stayed there. My mother happened to be on the market because it was Friday, and she went to buy for Shabbos some fruit and vegetables, I don't know what. And she was absent when the first alarm came. And we were petrified if she won't be killed in the open market and if we will ever see her again, and so on. But she came back after the alarm. It happened so that not many houses by us in the cities were bombed. Either they weren't very accurate, the bombs, maybe 6 houses or 7 houses that were bombed and were burning, but not too many. And that was the beginning, Friday. And that was going on like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday night. We had civil guards for the night, civil people that took care of the city since the war broke out, not before. So one was Eli Katz, a very good friend, and he started knocking in the middle of the night in all the doors and say, "Get up, start running, the Germans are approaching to Pabianice." So all the Jews, and I think lots of Poles, started running toward Lodz, because that was the biggest city where we could run. We just carried our mementos from home, like some pictures, the candelabra that my mother had from her grandmother still, some silver, things like this that everybody could carry a little bit in their hands. We grabbed it in little bundles and we ran. And I can't tell you how dramatic that running was. It wasn't like today highways lit. It was very dark. And all the cows and the horses, they got scared of what's going on. And the dogs and the cats, everything was running with us together in the middle of the road. It was an unbelievable night. It was something, took the whole night to get to Lodz, because with the parcels and with the children, like I carried my little a cousin of 3 years, I tried to carry her part of the way on my shoulders. My older sister tried to carry her part of the way. So people were with children and with parcels. It wasn't like 14 kilometers today I would walk in my running shoes. It was the whole night of walking. He woke us up, I don't know if it was 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock, and pitch dark. And it was terrible. It was terrible that walk. And when we came to Lodz, we meant just to stop over. So we went into some relatives that we knew, and we stopped over, and we freshened up, like went to the washrooms, and we got whatever shoes we got, the heaviest ones we took with us, and we intended to go towards Benzin, that is east toward Russia. First Pabianice Lodz was the first stop, then Lodz Benzin was like the second destination. And we tried to walk there, and we walked about, I don't know, 3 or 4 kilometers, maybe 5. People start coming back, running from that road to Benzin, and said, go back, because the German planes are strafing and killing the people on the way as they are running on the road. So whoever could run back, and we ran back too, and we were stuck in Lodz. And we didn't go back for quite a few days. Friday, the next Friday, like the first Friday the war broke out, the next Friday they entered Lodz. I remember it's just like now when they entered Lodz, the Germans. We were all so frightened. We blacked out the windows. The windows were blacked out anyway because of the Fliegeralarm, the air raids. You will have to excuse me if I'll mix in lots of German words, because when I think of the war, I mix in lots of German.
That's fine.
Because I'm thinking.
Takes you back,
So the air raids, and everything was blacked out, and we were afraid to go near the windows. We were afraid the Germans shouldn't see our faces. Sure enough, before long they started knocking on the Jewish doors and doing all kinds of things. And my father still had the beard. Later he had to shave it off. He had the beard, so he pulled it like this. And my sister had braids, and she had some hairpins in her hair. So she took and pinned it with a hairpin, or with 2. And sure enough, an hour or 2 later, the Germans came in. And one of them grabbed my father by the beard, and he pricked his finger, and maybe a drop of blood or something came out. He got wild like a wild animal. And he said, "Who did that?" And my sister, she was brave. She said, "Me, I did it. I wanted." He went over to her, and he started pulling at her braids and knocking her down and kicking her and beating her. Not my father, but her, because she pinned him the beard. That was our first encounter with the Germans.